Number 1. The graph below shows the amount of money Isabella earns for babysitting. Which of the following statements is true? A. At this rate, Isabella would charge $30 to babysit 7.5 hours. B. Isabella charged $10 per hour to babysit. C. At this rate, it would take Isabella $30 to earn $6. D. At this rate, Isabella would have to babysit 20 hours to earn $100. Number 2. Cameron decided to get an early start on Christmas shopping. She has already purchased gifts for her brothers and sisters. She has 60 square feet of wrapping papers. She needs to use 7.5 square feet of wrapping papers for each of the gifts. Which equation could use to find W? The amount of wrapping paper left over after wrapping. G. Number of gifts. Number 3. A person can drive 200 miles in 4 hours. What is the constant of proportionality? Ms. Ketchum described a problem situation that compares the number of dogs in a shelter to the number of cats in a shelter. She asked each student to compare the questions. Should the points on the graph be connected with the line? Explain your reasoning. 4 student responses are shared below. Ariel. The point on the graph should be connected with the line because the data is discrete. Guillermo. The points on the graph should not be connected with the line because the data is discrete. J. The point on the graph should be connected with the line because the data form a straight line. Ashlyn. The points on the graph should not be connected with the line because the data is continuous. Which student correctly answered Ms. Ketchum's question? Number 5. Which graph best represents a constant of proportionality of 2 over 3? A pilot takes a taxi from the airport to a hotel. A taxi driver charges $2.50 initial charge plus 2.65 per mile. Which equation can be used to find y, the total of cost of the trip, if x represents the number of miles of the trip? The table below shows the distance y a cheetah can travel in feet in x seconds. Based on the information in the table, which equation can be used to model the relationship between x and y? Which of these does not represent the distance car travel when going 50 miles per hour? Number 9. The graph represents the relationship between the number of hours spent driving and the number of miles driven. If mile driven equal K times hours driving, what is the value of K? Number 10. Which table of data represents 2 quantities that vary directly? Caroline's cell phone plan costs $32 per month. Which table shows the total that Caroline will pay for her cell phone plan over the next 4 months? At the Lewis Summer Camp, the number of students who sign up for a fishing class and the total of campers are recorded each week. The results are in the table below. If the relationship between the number of fishing students and the number of campers is proportional, which equation can be used to represent this relationship? Which relationship best represented by the graph below? 1. The number of second x in y hours. 2. The number of hours in x and y in seconds. 3. The number of gallon in x in y ounces. 4. The number of fluid ounces x in y gallons. During migration, butterfly can travel 30 miles in 1 hour. Which graph best represents y, the number of miles a butterfly can travel in x hours? The data shown below represent a proportional relationship. What is the constant proportionality for the table of values? Record your answer and fill in the bubbles on your answer document. Be sure to correct number 16. Determine the answer for each question below. Record your answers on the line provided. Evaluate each expression. Record final answers. on the line provided. Be sure to simplify your answer as much as possible. The line is not a fraction bar. Scale each ratio up or down to determine the unknown quantity. This summer, Alex wants to buy a new gaming system that costs $200.20. Halfway through the summer, after working for 4 weeks, he has earned $112. Assume that Alex earns the same amount each week. A. Using the information given, complete the tables of Alex earning. Make sure to include your units. B. Will Alex have enough money after 8 weeks? Justify your answers in words or math. C. Alex has confused the relationship between weeks he worked and his total earning. Explain to Alex if relationship is proportional or not, and how do you know? D. Write an equation to represent the relationship between weeks worked and total earning. Define your variables.